Vegas and the rest of the world. Welcome to the second segment of my Voluptuous life, and welcome to my pilot episode, Miss Melissa Shanta Charles. Welcome to you. Woohoo! All right, so I'm. This is a new friend of mine actually, but I don't care. It's not about being new or what. Friendship is not in terms of quantity but quality. Yes, right? So I met her because we have a common friend. Of course, it's GZ or it's JC, and then we met in a. I told you we met in a Palms, like we were about to see a movie, and we just look at each other like, oh, you're so beautiful. I'm like, remember when I told you that?
Yeah, and I felt your aura, and I'm like, she's so sweet.
Really? I saw her like, wow, Miss Day's like very extrovert, very different, you know. And then of course I'm featuring her tonight in my show because of her story and everything that about her. So tell me about Melissa. Who's Melissa? How do you want to be perceived at? Like, if how old is Melissa? Anything? What can you say about her?
I'm 35. I do not feel
millennial.
Okay. Been in Vegas for 4 years. Moved from Philadelphia.
Okay.
Kind of had a hard time when I first moved here. About a month or so after I first moved here, I became homeless.
What year was that? Like
2014.
Wow. I was thinking, April. Where was I in 2014? Okay.
But yeah, before that I've had struggles before that, but for me, my rock bottom was becoming homeless. It kind of helped me define my character a little more, and at this point in my life, I'm super independent.
What homelessness is for? Like you were living in a house of a friend, or you were in those I know there are organizations that provide. Sorry, honey. You provide housing in every night, or what was the situation? What was the worst ever situation that we're as a homeless person?
I actually pretty much had it easy being homeless though, because I had stayed in what we call here in Vegas a weekly, where you pay week per week or month by month. I was, for the first 2 or 3 weeks, I was actually lucky and had I guess the safety net of someone paying for the weekly for about 2 or 3 weeks, but unfortunately that didn't work out after the second or third week. So at that point, for about a week or so, I had to stay in the night shelter for Salvation Army. Luckily, I met a woman. It was so lucky because it was the Friday that they were going to stop their night beds.
Yeah.
And luckily, I had my guardian angel come, and I lived with her for about, I say maybe about 2 months, 2 or 3 or 4 months, and I finally got a couple jobs. And that's how she helped me get off the streets.
What is about what was the reason why you moved to Vegas in the first place? What situation or what motivated you, or why you moved to Vegas in 2004?
A friend, 2014.
14.
A friend actually invited me here. He and I had actually met online when I still lived in Philly. And he actually lived in Philly and moved to Vegas. Okay. And he gave me the idea to move here, and that's how that happened.
Was it worse in Vegas, or was it worse in Philadelphia?
I think it's...
Or Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I actually prefer Philly over Vegas. But I've made my home here. I've gotten used to the culture here. I know how to navigate the city now, so... And I don't like to give up. I'm the type of person, no matter what my troubles are, I like to try to make it work.
You see... if you guys were beside me right now and you were to look at her eyes, you would see, even that moment when you like look back and think about the lowest possible situation you were in your life, which all of us go through, and there's like a second of like, okay, wow, I made it, right? That was the message in her eyes that I see right here, right then. What's in Vegas? I mean, like. Why did you blend in with Vegas, or were you forced to blend in Vegas, or like, okay, fine, I'm just gonna stay here, that's it?
It was a combination of all of those, I think, because how people come to the West Coast for the the dream of making it big in Hollywood or making it big in Vegas. That was that wasn't my motivation. It was just kind of to start over, to find new friends, to start over in a place that I was totally new in.
Were you escaping from something in
I
Philly?
think so. I figured out in my own head, I'm gonna try not to cry on you, but I figured out that I'm running from something myself. And that's why I decided not to try to pick up and run again. Because I've had people, come back to Philly. We'll take care of you. I don't want that. So I'm going to not cry on you. But I'm a person now who wants to be independent. And I realize that I have to be an adult and fix it myself. So that's why I've stayed here and made it work. I'm sorry.
It's okay, honey. Yeah, go ahead.
The former me would quit. I remember when I first started my job at the D Las Vegas in Fremont. I had to fight with myself, and I actually had to tell my boss, "Give me 5 minutes," and I literally ran to the bathroom and cried for 5 minutes because even though my manager she said something that triggered me. And
you would have that moment. I can share with you because I had moments like that too, and I think our audience would also share that like you had a moment like, okay,
right,
are you doing this or not, or giving up or what? And you had that moment. That was like your that was like your quicksand, you know.
I've had that moment a handful of times living here in Vegas. To where I literally had to go cry in the corner for 5 minutes and let it out and get over myself. Because I realized that I'm 35. I cannot continue to quit every time things get hard. Yeah. And that's what I had to learn the hard way.
I know this could be like probably the most basic question I could question you, but I also had this type of situation in my life. What could possibly be the most humbling meal you ever had in Vegas? Like, I'm gonna process. I mean, like me, honestly, my humbling meal is a cup of rice and soy sauce. I mean, like my friend, my friend and I. Well, I don't want to say his name anymore. He's overexposed. We had that point in our life when we never had anything at all. It was like the day before I get paid. And we were eating literally rice and soy sauce just to survive that night. Girl, what was your significant meal? I call that the significant meal.
Like, one of the meals that I still sometimes eat today is oodles and noodles. I got to the point to where the smell gagged me up, the taste. And I was eating it and gagging every swallow. And I was, huh?
But you had to take it.
I had no choice. There was times when I didn't even have money for that. And I would go to work just starving. But one of the humbling meals was a peanut butter and jelly sandwich to where that's all I had. And I didn't have any Ziploc bags. All I could do was get one of the store bags from like Smith's and wrap the naked sandwich in it. And that was one of the most humbling things. To where I had to beg outside of a Circle K for $5 to go catch a bus.
Yeah, I know.
Humbling.
What was like? I would want to ask you, who is your motivator? Like number one motivator. I mean, let me say not just one, three motivators in your life. Like, okay, when everything just crushing and everything's just blacked out, but you only see these three aspects in your life, or people, whatever motivator that I gotta go on.
Right. One of them is my biological mother. She died when I was 11.
I'm sorry for making you cry, but I hope I'm making you strong. Go ahead. Yes, yeah.
She was my best friend.
Okay. How old when she died?
I was 11. Okay. But that was my baby. She's one of my motivators because I know she's always around me somewhere.
And she's like, whatever happens, she's just there, you know? Like, even if physically she might not be there. And who's the second one?
My grandmother. She passed away in 2015. She was my baby too. She could do no wrong.
She died at Philly?
No, she was in Georgia. But that was my baby right there. She could do no wrong.
See, it makes you laugh. These motivators in our life, they just don't make us cry, but make us laugh, and you make us like kind of okay, move forward. And who's your third one?
Myself.
Good answer.
Because I realize that every day, no matter how imperfect the day is, it's perfect to me because I'm doing better than the last day. I didn't give up today. I didn't give up yesterday.
Do you see yourself as a motivator for another person or other people?
I think so, because all of the things that I've been through in my life, if I can survive them, I was almost literally holding my mother in my arms when she passed away. If I can survive that, I can survive just about anything.
Where is Melissa right now? Like you're 35, right?
Yes.
When you're turning 36?
September 24th.
Okay, so in September, let's move forward 5 years from now. Let's say 5 years from now, I see Melissa I am now. You can say, Wawa, Melissa, I am, this is like 5 years now, after 5 years. Hi, Wawa, this is where I am now. How do you, give me 5 points in your life that's gonna happen in 5, or it's already here, 5 years, now it is 5 years.
Definitely physically healthier. Being thin or skinny is obviously not my goal, but to be healthy. To lose weight is my one goal. To at least achieve something educational wise, maybe on my way to a degree, even if I haven't completed it by that time, at least.
What type of degree or what type of industry are you looking at? You're in the hotel industry right now, right?
Yes.
And customer service.
Right. My goal, my ideal dream or goal.
Like, let's say I am now. Like,
I am going to hopefully be on my way to eventually owning my own funeral home. That's my thing.
Interesting.
I know that's a totally random thing.
Yeah, what is it about it? I mean, like, that's totally interesting.
I've always, after my mom passed away, I thought she looked beautiful. And how they presented her in a casket and all that was just beautiful. And I've always kind of had a fascination after that, I guess, not to sound morbid, but I've always had a fascination with death and the afterlife and helping families.
That is actually a degree. If everybody watching us right now, in the funeral business is actually a degree. In I don't know in America, I haven't really researched, but in New Zealand or in Australia, it's actually a degree to go into the funeral business, like how to go to school. Go to school. It's a degree. It's not just merely a diploma or something like that sort. And what else? One final thing. Who is Melissa in 5 years?
A homeowner.
Awesome.
Or at least on the way to being a homeowner.
And how do you? What type of home is that? Where is it?
I'm not too complicated right now. My goal is just to have my name, Melissa's name, on something that she worked for. Because I was used to throughout my life not working for anything, letting everybody else dictate what Melissa does. Now that I'm super independent, I want my name on something that proves that Melissa did it and didn't give up.
Okay. Well, I have one last question. But you know what? Melissa's not just going to share with us one segment. He has 2 segments with us. But in the next 2 segments, we'll be talking about sexual preferences and the next segment. At the same time, views on LGBT, views on sexuality, and so on. And the last segment, we'll be talking about a topic that we will be discussing about. So, but if you have any questions on her, please feel free to message me. We still have a few more minutes to be with her. Yeah. Wait. Let us acknowledge some of the people. Oh, Danny. Hello, Danny. I have Iya, Lorraine. I have Love, one of my friends there. Thank you for listening and for watching us. And my last question. Give me like your tagline in life. Like yo. I'm just kidding.
Before you answer that, let's go on break.
So Melissa will tell me her tagline or her one-liner, because each of us have our own one-liner in life that will always keep us going back to that line. We'll see you back in the second segment, and please do join us. Bye.